You know, I have said this before. Making sense of Rahul Gandhi is as easy as consuming rasam with chopsticks. I have already exposed his industrial scale lies a couple of days ago, but needless to say, he'll be back again with a bucket load of more lies and propaganda. But today, if I may, I'd like to focus on something else. On this facade of Rahul Gandhi being approachable and answering questions fearlessly from fearless independent journalists. Nothing could be further from the truth. These so-called journalists should be ashamed of themselves. I remember Rahul called a journalist pliant once. Well, his troop of lapdogs that he carries along is not only pliant but also compliant. Let me expose this Gandhi media. Number one. Here is point number 11 from the 2019 Congress manifesto under agriculture. Quote, Congress will repeal the Agriculture Produce Market Committees Act and make trade in agriculture produce, including exports and interstate trade, free from all restrictions. Unquote. Here is point number 21 from the 2019 Congress manifesto under agriculture. Quote, the Essential Commodities Act 1955 belongs to the age of controls. Congress promises to replace the act by an enabling law that can be invoked only in the case of emergencies. Unquote. Moreover, the Punjab Contract Farming Act was being applied in Congress-ruled Punjab and had been all through the tenure of Captain Amarinder Singh. I now quote from it. Quote, the Punjab Contract Farming Act is to provide for improved marketing of agricultural produce through contract farming and to regulate the development of efficient contract farming system by putting in place effective infrastructure for contract farming. Unquote. Now, the three farm laws brought in by Modi were Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act, Essential Commodities Amendment Act, and Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Act. They delivered exactly what the Congress promised or was already implementing, except that Modi had not repealed APMCs as the Congress wanted, but just provided the farmer with a choice to go through the APMCs or not. So if Rahul Gandhi said that the farm laws were black, wasn't his manifesto black too? But did any journalists gathered there ask him this? No. Two, what death of democracy is Rahul Gandhi talking of when Congress government in Chhattisgarh arrested a man who complained of power cut and charged him with sedition? When Congress government arrested 60 tribals and Dalits, including the Dalit activist and senior editor Sudhir Dhavle, under sedition charges and threw them in jail? When 12,000 people were charged with sedition under the UPA, including 8,000 people in a single day, and the Congress Home Minister then Chidambaram called them anti-nationals? When citizens were arrested by Congress government for merely calling a politician penguin? When a professor is arrested for sharing a Mamata cartoon in Bengal and acquitted after 11 years when Rahul Gandhi keeps quiet, or when the communist government in Kerala books 120 people for social media posts criticizing CM Vijayan and Rahul Gandhi keeps quiet, or when there exist as many as 275 documented instances of brutal trampling of democracy under the Congress, 87 of those in the last 15 years, and Congress and Rahul Gandhi keep quiet. Did any journalist present there confront Rahul Gandhi with this fact? No. 3. What intolerance is Rahul Gandhi talking of when a Congress MLA Johir Lal says he won't work for Dalits as they didn't vote for him? Or when Congress's Harish Rawat says those who kill a cow have no right to live in India? Or when Congress legislators demand hanging of Kamlesh Tiwari? Or when Yasin Malik is celebrated by Congress's Manmohan Singh? Or when Congress leader Nilai Kannan laments why, quote, Modi and Shah have not been killed yet, unquote. Or when CM Stalin felicitates the man convicted in Rajiv Gandhi assassination and Rahul Gandhi keeps quiet. Or when Congress leader Shivraj Jivon says during Hathras, quote, two people should die from each side. A leader should die or some common man should die. Rahul Gandhi will come to the scene only after bullets start flying, unquote. Or when Congress leader Pradeep Manjhi is caught red-handed inciting riots in Odisha in the wake of a rape case, ordering, quote, keep diesel and petrol ready. Once you get directions, set everything on fire, unquote. Or when Congress's leader Shakuntala Khatik is caught red-handed in June 2017 ordering a mob to burn down a police station in Mandsaur. Did any journalist present there confront Rahul Gandhi with this fact? No. 4. What discrimination is Rahul Gandhi talking of when refugee Melu Ram, one of 2 lakh West Pakistan refugees who ran for their lives and settled in Kashmir, when Melu Ram and his children were barred from local jobs and welfare schemes? Gurkha Sagar Sahi, whose ancestors were brought to Kashmir to fight the invaders. Sahi won a gold medal in the Commonwealth Fencing Championships. Sahi applied for a job in JK police. Sahi was rejected because he wasn't a domicile. Dalit Radhika Gill, her family was brought to Kashmir to work as sweepers in 1957. Radhika cleared the BSF entrance exam, but Radhika could only get a job as a sweeper because she wasn't a domicile. For 70 years, the human rights of lakhs of Dalits, Gurkhas, women, Sikhs, refugees were brutally trampled upon by the state. And its politicians, allies of Congress like Farooq Abdullah, who delighted in saying, and I quote, they want to abolish 370 and we'll remain silent. Inshallah, we will fight. We dare them. Allah would want that we gain independence from India. Did any journalist present there confront Rahul with this fact? No. 5. What corruption is Rahul Gandhi talking of? When Modi's BJP was convicted of financial fraud through violating FCRA by the High Court. But it was Congress that supported Modi's retrospective amendment of the FCRA, thereby nullifying the court conviction. And you know why? Because the court had also convicted the Congress of the same FCRA fraud. But did any journalist gathered there ask him this? No. 6. What cowardice towards China is Rahul talking of when China managed to occupy 640 square kilometers of eastern Ladakh during the UPA? Or how between 2010 to 2013, China managed to make nearly 600 incursions into the Indian side? Or why the UPA did not disclose for 3 weeks a Chinese incursion on June 17, 2013 at Chumar for fear of public anger, forcing cancellation of a minister's visit to China? Or how on July 12, 2013, the Chinese entered 28 kilometers deep into our territory at Depsang? Or why the IEF proposal of an airstrike on Pakistani terror hideouts in the wake of 26/11 was ignored by the then Prime Minister as disclosed by Air Chief Dhanoa? Did any journalist present there confront Rahul Gandhi with this? No. 7. Congress is the party that demanded Indian citizenship for Bangladeshi minorities. Obviously, minorities in Bangladesh have to be Hindus and Christians and Sikhs, but protested Modi's CA law that delivered exactly this. This is the same Congress party that abuses Hindutva daily but runs a government or ran a government until recently with those who take pride in expounding Hindutva. This is a party that does temple runs but coins the phrase saffron terror. This is the party that opposes the communists in one state but strikes an alliance with them in the other. This is the party that doubts the surgical strikes but says it valorizes the Indian armed forces. This is the party that abuses and mistrusts the EVMs but runs multiple governments because of EVM electoral wins. This is the party that has abused and slandered Adani for years. But now their own governments in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh are having Adani projects worth 85,000 crores and continuing with them, and have approved a slew of measures to help Adani make billions, including 1,600 hectares of land and multiple power projects. But did any journalist gathered there ask him this? No. 8. Rahul Gandhi says Modi is anti-minority, Well, here is the data. Minorities before 2014, 20,000 skilled trained, 5% with government jobs, 3 crore scholarships, 70% girls school dropout rate. Minorities after 2014, 2 million skilled trained, 10% with government jobs, 5 crore scholarships, free UPSC coaching, 30% girls school dropout rate, while our Muslim population is 14.2%. As many as 31.3% of homes under Awas Yojana, 33% of funds under Kisan Samman Nidhi, and 36% beneficiaries under Mudra Yojana have been Muslims. Housing, skilling, scholarships, government jobs. No other Prime Minister in living memory has comparatively done more for minorities than Modi. Did any journalist confront him with this data? No. 9. Reverting to the old pension scheme, a poll promise of the Congress that has now returned to power in Himachal will ruin the state's economy. Generations to come would suffer. But does that matter to Rahul? What is telling is that the new pension scheme was implemented by the Congress and the UP in 2005. There occurred extensive deliberations. The then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh was a votary of it. It was planned and executed under the aegis of Dr. Montek Singh Ahluwalia. But of course, Rahul Gandhi knows more economics than Dr. Manmohan Singh and Dr. Montek Singh Ahluwalia. Montek Singh Ahluwalia has said OPS would lead to a fiscal disaster for states, and that quote, bringing back the old pension scheme is the biggest revenue or freebie invented, unquote. Himachal's debt to GDP is already 43%. It will rise soon. The pension expenditure has risen from 2% of revenue receipts in 80 to 20% now. Rahul is guiding a state to disaster, and many Congress states are gladly joining in this harakiri. But did any journalist gathered there ask him this? No. For want of time, I restrict myself, or I can go on and on and on with examples of what was never asked of Rahul Gandhi by the Darbari Gandhi media.